Hi, this is Kathy Hall. I'm a lead candidate from Southern Utah University working on my administrative endorsement. Today we're going to be talking about optional extended day kindergarten as a reading intervention program. What is optional extended day kindergarten, or OEK? OEK is an early literacy intervention program for the most at-risk kindergarten students for literacy failure. All kindergarten students in Washington County School District are given a battery of assessments at the beginning of the school year. These assessments cover areas such as letter knowledge, sounds, letter formation, phonemic awareness, decoding, and text reading. Based on these assessments, the lowest 12 children are selected to participate in an OEK class session. Students are not excluded from OEK based on limited language abilities, developmental delays, behavioral issues, or fine motor issues. Students attend their OEK classroom, eat lunch at school, and then attend their regular kindergarten classroom. I'm going to be talking about 4 components as part of my literature review of OEK. The first component will be early intervention, followed by response to intervention. Curriculum will be covered, and finally we will talk about professional development. Being early is critical for children who are struggling to take on the earliest reading behaviors. Students from lower socioeconomic groups or students from minority groups tend to be further behind their peers in early literacy skills on kindergarten entry, and that gap increases over time. A child who cannot read at the end of first grade has a great chance for literacy failure. Children who continue to have reading difficulties in fourth grade experience reading difficulties through high school and beyond. We must prevent reading difficulties by intervening early to ensure a child's literacy success. Response to intervention complements early intervention by providing high-quality instruction and interventions coordinated to meet an individual student's needs. The most common structure for incorporating RTI in school is a tiered approach. The tiers provide a framework for delivering interventions based on the needs of the child. Tier 1 is classroom instruction that is differentiated. Tier 2 is a more intense intervention with a smaller group. And Tier 3 is a very intense intervention with a very small student-to-teacher ratio. The OEK intervention program fits nicely into the RTI model because it reduces the number of students who become identified as learning disabled by preventing the reading difficulties from occurring. The OEK curriculum is based on the findings of the National Reading Panel. Congress asked the panel to review the research of more than 100,000 reading studies on how children learn to read. They found that the most effective evidence-based methods for teaching children how to read included teaching phonemic awareness, explicit phonics instruction, teaching fluency, teaching vocabulary, and teaching comprehension. The OEK curriculum also incorporates the work of Marilyn J. Adams from her landmark book, Beginning to Read, Thinking and Learning About Print. She found the 3 predictors of reading success are letter knowledge, print awareness, and phonemic awareness. All 3 of these are explicitly taught in the OEK classroom. The OEK curriculum also incorporates the theories of Mari Clay. Mari Clay was a brilliant researcher from New Zealand who made a huge impact on how we instruct children who are at risk for literacy failure in reading and writing. Laurie Clay reminds us to use a student's oral language and to harness that power of their oral language. She also tells us that reading and writing needs to be done in continuous text versus isolation. And then she also reminds us that reading and writing should be authentic. The final component of the literature review is the power of professional development. Professional development is a central component for teachers of OEK, and it is key to improve student achievement. Every effort in OEK is made to provide the teachers with critical knowledge about effective teaching and the importance of expert literacy instruction. We explore a variety of topics in our professional development sessions, such as the power of oral language, shared reading, interactive writing, observing student behaviors, and analyzing the student for effective literacy processing. Administrators understand the importance of choosing expert OEK teachers. OEK teachers must have high expectations and believe their instruction can impact student achievement. Many of our teachers are highly skilled with reading endorsements, early childhood endorsements, reading recovery certification, former staff developers, and seasoned kindergarten teachers. Coaching is another critical component of professional development in OEK. OEK teachers can be coached by a peer or by the OEK teacher trainer. Teachers receive immediate feedback aimed at improving student instruction. Over the last several months, I have engaged in casual conversations with the OEK teachers in our district. Through these conversations, several trends have developed. The first trend was student successes. The teachers wanted to talk about how their students were succeeding in OEK. The second trend was the challenges of being an OEK teacher. The third trend was professional development and how it was impacting their instruction. Student successes. Teachers believe that early intervention is key, and that is what research is telling us, that we must intervene early to prevent the reading difficulties from even starting in the first place. And so teachers were able to see how powerful their early intervention was. Teachers were starting to develop a sense of efficacy, that their powerful instruction was making a huge difference in the life of a child. OEK teachers also talked about the challenges in the classroom. And this is what is happening also in current day practice, that the classroom is getting harder. There are more challenges that we have to deal with. Teachers talked about the one child in their class with severe behavioral problems and how that would impact the instruction for the whole class and how challenging that was. They also talked about how difficult it was to carefully monitor students' progress every single week and then chart the progress and then make accommodations for those students based on a very limited amount of time they had to do that in. And so time was a real challenge for these teachers, having the time to make the accommodations to meet the needs of the children. They also talked a lot about the amount of energy that was required to teach OEK, that because of the various different learning styles and the challenges and the needs of the 12 students, how it required them to really, really be engaged at all times. They also talked about the steep learning curve of teaching OEK, even though many of these teachers are expert teachers in many areas, that teaching OEK is very, very difficult. OEK is a powerful early intervention program that closes the achievement gap and prevents a lifetime of reading difficulties. It fits nicely within the RTI framework of a Tier 2 intervention. Our curriculum is based on the powerful research of the National Reading Panel, Marilyn J. Adams, and the theories of Mari Clay. Professional development aimed at increasing teachers' understanding of the emergent literacy process is absolutely critical when working with the at-risk OEK population. Here is a screenshot of the results from OEK from the 2012-2013 school year, and you can see that OEK did indeed close the achievement gap. If you have any other questions, you can reach me at kathy.hall@washk12.org.